Good morning, students. I wanted to take a brief moment to talk about the week 7 and 8 discussion. I understand that a few of you have questions, so let's take a minute to discuss that now. So basically what I want you to do is to create a single case evaluation based upon your desired field practice setting in social work. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be in field at this minute or you have to be completely sure about what you want to do in your field or for the rest of your social work career. But choose an area that's interesting to you and create a single case evaluation. And what I'm asking for there is for you to use the A-B model as described in Chapter 13. Take time to develop what your baseline and your intervention stage would look like. And then what I want you to do is identify your dependent and independent variable. And as we've learned through this class, your dependent variable is what will be changing, and the independent variable is what's causing the change. So think of your independent variable a lot like a superhero. You have an issue, you have a problem, and you introduce your superhero to make a change in that problem. Now, sometimes a superhero is effective and sometimes it's not, so maybe it's not a superhero at all, but just maybe a hero. Just remember that that independent variable causes the change. And in all cases, your intervention will always be your independent variable. The next part, the quantification of your target problem. Your target problem is your dependent variable. So let's say that we were introducing some type of cognitive behavioral therapy on anxiety. So anxiety then would be my target problem. So how would I quantify that? Well, there are all kinds of different methods. I could count daily how many times I feel overwhelmed. I could use a scale on the intensity of the anxiety in which I feel daily. Um, and I could choose either one of those. So the importance of a single case design for reliability and validity is for there to be multiple measurement points. So instead of looking at a bunch of data on a bunch of different people, we're really looking at one and using those multiple data points to assist with validity. Okay, so I would recommend having at least one measurement point for each day that you're doing baseline and you're doing intervention. So in this, your baseline would be that period in which you're not providing the intervention. So we want to see some type of leveling out or some type of consistent pattern before we would move on to the B phase, which is the intervention phase. So hopefully you would see an improvement, whether that would be an increase in whatever behavior we're talking about or a decrease. But you would be able to ascertain if there are any other changes. Now, this is really important for a couple reasons. The first reason is that this will help you prepare for next week's question, which is going to have you focus on your research proposal question and really narrowing it down from what we've discussed before. So this will give you a good practice in identifying dependent and independent variables and thinking about how your research needs to be operationalized. Oh, and the other reason that this assignment is important is next year, or whenever you enter the advanced program, advanced research is all about integrating a single case subject design in field or on yourself. So you'll actually be conducting a single subject um, research study in that class. So it'll give you some good experience for that. Now, when I say it's important, um, I also want to be clear that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to maybe not be 100% correct on these discussions because the whole idea behind the discussions is for you to work with your peers to talk through whatever the topic is. So as a good peer, as a good class member, you might want to reach out and be like, hey, maybe that's not the independent variable. Have you considered this? And what about the A-B design that looks like this? Or have you thought about a measurement point that looks like this? It's not good enough to ask questions like, do you think this really is a measuring point? No, I want you to actually take that moment and help that person work through the issue. And I think you'll all benefit from those types of activities. And that's what I grade on. So take the time to help one another out, and don't worry about putting yourself out there and making a bit of a mistake. Um, this is a learning process, and if you knew everything up front, you wouldn't need the class and you wouldn't need the program. So relax about that, okay? Well, I hope this answers any questions or assuages any insecurities that you may have in regard to the assignment. Just have fun with it and integrate those A-B designs. All right, thanks a lot. Have a great week. Bye.